Excuse me. Hi gang, welcome back to the Get House Fitness channel. I am Janet, also known as She Gathers Wellness, and it feels like my shirt is trying to eat me, and I have on a sweater because it is cold in Tampa. Like actually cold. It's like 40 degrees. Is this the end? Is this the end times? What? So anyways, I'm doing my fitness goals for 2025. I have been influenced by the other fitness people. Oh, that's my bra strap. Okay. I have been influenced by the other fitness peoples and wanted to put up some fitness goals for myself, kind of like a little diary, something I can look back on. And I also have put these things on my 2025 goal worksheets, and if you haven't seen those or heard of those, I'll put them in the cards so you can get them yourself. So just a little piece before I get started for those who are new or need a refresher. I lost 100 pounds back in 2010, 2011. I started my fitness business in February of 2015, so I have my decade anniversary. That's crazy. Next month. So in losing all that weight, I have had many fitness goals before, but in reviewing my goals of the past, I noticed that all of my goals were oriented towards, and I have notes down here, that's why I keep looking down. All of my goals were oriented towards either aesthetics, my ego, trying to prove someone else wrong, or my old wounds, like trauma wounds. So I also have a past where I was told that I was like too fat to be married. There was no need for me to go to college because nobody was going to hire a fat black woman. Like all these, there's a lot of trauma wounds. There's a lot of like cultural wounds. There's a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So there was a lot, like I said, it was either aesthetic, ego, or wound driven. And it came to a place where basically each goal wasn't enough. And when you're in the cycle of things not being enough, nothing is ever going to be enough, if that makes sense. So at some point, something has to be okay. You got to be like, all right, this is fine. This is good enough. Because if not, you're going to be chasing the next thing forever. One, that is exhausting. Believe you me, I know that is exhausting. And two, it's like I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say, but if nothing is ever good enough, like you never get to that like self-love place or the acceptance place or the allowance place. It's just a continual like grind and hustle and go. And that's not a good place to be. So anyways, all that said, I thought about that when I was making this year's goals, and it was nice to reflect and see that my goals weren't so much this time aesthetic driven or trying to prove something to myself or someone else. So it felt good that I could make goals just because I wanted to become either better at my job or feel better in my body or be better in the long run as I go through life. 50, 60, all those, because I hit the magical 40 last year in November. So I want to set myself up to be able to move and do flips and all kinds of stuff when I'm 80 years old. Like that's my goal. I want to be 107 doing a handstand. So my goals are, let's pick the paper up so I don't have to look down so far. So my goals are, the first one is to get into the yoga, endurance, strength, conditioning, and flexibility that I was in around the time of 2021, 2022. Around that time, I was teaching a lot more though. I was teaching a few classes a day as well as a couple clients. So that on top of doing your own workout is a lot of movement. That being said, I also know that because I'm not going to be able to move that much because I'm not working that hard anymore. Like that was madness. The results might not hit the same, or they might not come as quick, or they might not look the same or feel the same. So that's just basically like my caveat, but that is my trajectory. And to do that, I have to do more power yoga. I took a break like let's say after 2022, basically 2023 was wild. I think that was the year I mostly only taught people. I didn't really do much movement for myself outside of walking. I was just trying to exist and get to the next thing. And then I got into weightlifting again. And then I tried to start getting back into my personal yoga practice. And that's when I started to see that a lot of the things were now hard for me to do that used to be just like, oh, Janet can do that. So to reach this goal, I'm increasing my power yoga practice, and I actually started doing this a few months ago. So there's that. I also want to work on imbalances. So one of the things I put down is pistol squat. So I want to be able to get my pistol squat. Right now, I can do it with a lot of assistance. I want to be able to do it freehand. Just go down one leg, come up, and go down the other leg, come up. I have injured both of my ankles, one of them twice. I have injured one of my knees. I have also injured one of my hips. Not injured like I needed surgery, but like through, like when I played sports was that middle school? Whatever. And running and lifting weights and all that kind of stuff. I have several injuries. I've also fallen out of a headstand before and injured my neck. I had a car accident, was actually a fender bender, but I was injured for a while off of it. My right shoulder. So I have a lot of imbalances, like stuff between just repetition. You do a lot of stuff right-handed, or a lot of stuff with your left side of the body, on top of injuries and healing and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of imbalances, and we want to fix those. So that's a goal. My next one is handstand. So I can do a handstand against a wall. I can do a freestanding, meaning like in the middle of the room, forearm stand or headstand. But in the middle of the room, for whatever reason, just on my hands, I end up like doing a flip, which means I'm putting too much power into it on top of, for whatever reason, handstand freaks me out. Why handstand freak me out and I can balance on my head and it's normal? Doesn't make sense. Seems like you wouldn't want to balance on your head. But it seems so grounding to balance on my head. To balance on my hands freaks me out. So I want to work on freestanding handstand, but of course to do that I have to start practicing again my handstands against the wall. So that is a goal. And then my last goal is to just increase my cardio, and I'll do that by doing the elliptical more. We usually go for a walk every day, which is usually a little over a mile. I usually get at least 2 miles on the elliptical, so I just need to increase both of those. And then, excuse me, wow. And then also, so I guess that wasn't my last goal. My actual last goal is for my resistance. I still want to do lightweight. I'm not trying to deadlift 300 pounds anymore. I don't need to increase no leg extension. I'm not trying to do a hamstring curl. I'm good. It's very counterproductive to trying to lengthen your muscles in yoga to do all the things I was doing in the gym. I can't do both. Like they say, you can have you can have all of something, but you can't have all of everything. Like I can't do both. Like, like what am I trying to say? Like a pro baller, football, baseball, whatever, supplements their workouts that help them be able to run the ball or jump higher with, say, yoga or Pilates to prevent injuries and help recovery. But they're not putting yoga in front of doing these conditioning workouts on the football field. Like, you got to pick what's your main, and then everything else has to be a side dish. So I have to put power yoga back as my main and make everything else supplement. So my supplement to keep everything else just in shape, and also to keep some like bone density and stuff, like you need those type things, resistance, you need those to build bones and all that kind of stuff. And then all the things they say about women when you get older and your bones and anyway, about to go off on a tangent. I was really about to go off on a tangent. I'm not going to do it. Anyways, I'm saying my last goal is to do lightweight work, and the way I will do that is through bar, as well as Pilates, and then also Taibo. So that is how I would get my weights in. Taibo is also cardio, so that's good. Also do kickboxing, that's also weighted sometimes. So those are the things I will use to do cardio, resistance, that type thing. But my main dish is power yoga. So my fitness goal is to get back into my 2021-2022 shape. I do realize that one of my goals a couple years ago was to grow my booty, which I did, but I did that in the weight room. So I realized that it might go, and that's fine. Like I said, you can't have everything all the time. You got to pick one. And right now, I feel like I'm more drawn to feeling good in my body the way I did when I was doing yoga, the way I was doing it, as opposed to putting on the biker shorts and looking in the mirror and being like, okay. Also, on top of that, with growing my booty, I also gained a little more body fat, like all around, but in particular, like belly button, below belly button down. And it never was actually completely flat. Like even when I had like a 4-pack, the very bottom of my stomach was never completely flat. I was never one of those girls. And I'm not saying that my stomach is not flat to most other people anyway, so I'm not complaining or anything, but I'm saying all that to say that with the gain of the booty came the increase of the lower belly fat. So I also would not be mad if I did lose the butt, if that went with it. If it's gonna stay, then the butt can stay too. I mean, but it's not like I really have a choice. Bodies do what they do. So yeah, those are my just handful of fitness goals for 2025. I am going to do, I don't know if it'll be a business goals, but a business something, I was gonna say movie, video next month, because like I said, it is my 10-year business anniversary. So yeah, that's interesting. Who would have thunk it? 10 years. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. So yeah. Leave me some of your fitness goals down below. If you have a goal, even if it is aesthetic, that's fine. I've had plenty of aesthetic goals, and sometimes that's what we need to get us, going, like being able to fit in this dress or get into that bikini, or what do they call it? Revenge weight loss or something. Somebody breaks up with somebody and then they just decide, I'm going to get fined because next time they see me, they're going to see me. You know what I'm saying? So aesthetic goals are also fine. They are welcome. No judgment here. I was just giving those at the beginning, those examples of where I was mentally, spiritually, emotionally back in the day. So yeah. All right, guys, I think that's it, because I'm going to start rambling. I'm cold. I need to eat lunch. It's like almost 3:00. I get in trouble for that. My husband's always like, how is it closer to dinner than lunch and you haven't eaten yet? And I'm like, look, sir, I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, listening to me ramble, all those things. Leave me a goal of yours below. Also, if you've made it this far through my rambling, leave me a little muscle emoji down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye. Peace.